Hi everybody, it's Amy, and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. I've got an extra light out here this morning because it's really dark and stormy out. So the lighting isn't great. I apologize for that if it's giving weird glare off my glasses. So today I've got some fabulous, in my opinion, and some fail. Everybody feels differently though, so you make up your own mind, I suppose. I'm going to start with the fails and go ahead and get those out of the way. And then go better from there. I really wanted to start making some Barbie dresses and stuff. I have previously made some dresses for my niece's doll, and I think it's about an 18-inch doll. It's not an American Girl doll, I don't think, but it's about that size. And so I got some threads and I had made her some dresses, and that was some years and years ago. But I thought I really kind of wanted to make some Barbie clothes or see what I could do with that. And so I found this pattern, and I made the first dress, and I just loved it. And my husband said, "Did Barbie gain weight? Because that does not look like a Barbie dress." And I thought, well, no, but I'll go and buy a Barbie, and then I'll be able to have a model for when I'm making clothing, right? So then I made this one because it is, oh, there's my hook. This blue, it's got a sparkly in it. Let's see if we can get some sparkly to show. It's kind of like that baby sparkly. It's not really working, but I thought it could be a really fancy dress. And here it is on her, and big, and you know, whose pattern was that? Whoever I was following was not doing a very good pattern, because you know, I used even a hook size smaller because I know that my stitches tend to be a little bit, you know, I end up with a bigger gauge. How do you say that? I always have to kind of go down a hook size if I really want to make the gauge work, make the stitching work. And so I kind of should have, because how is that supposed to fit? I cannot be that far off. And a Barbie is a Barbie is a Barbie. So I don't know what happened. So I started one more and decided I hadn't cut that one off yet. I was still gonna, I think I'm going to rip this one out, because there's no sense in having a dress that doesn't fit, right? So I think I'm gonna rip this one out and try to redo it based off of the same pattern, but I'm gonna cut out some of the stitches and do my own math and so forth. We'll see how that works. We'll see how that works. But yeah, I liked the pattern, and I thought that I could really make some cute stuff, and this did not work, so I'm a little bit frustrated. But this is what I had sitting to the side to do that with lime bran cupcake. It's also a little tiny little, there was, this is what was inside of it. And this, I think, was left over from my, no, I'm a big fat liar. These are both from the line, hold that thought. These are both my ice cream yarn banana split. I used it in some blankets and had just this tiny little bit left over. This was a one cake wonder. I made a one skein wonder, whatever. I made a shawl with, and this was all that was left from that. So I was waiting to ever get some more cupcake yarn and put that with. But this was the ice cream brand. This was this in banana split color. But anyway, like I said, I'll do some math and figure that out, or maybe watch somebody else's video and see what the count might be. Because dang, that's a good diet, girl. If you could go from that dress to that dress, come on. I mean, even in the skirt part, there's tons and tons of leftover. I thought this would like look princessy because it was the sparkly, but it didn't. All right, so there's a fail. And then I was moving some yarn around, and this was a skein of Craftsmart, which is Michael's brand, I think. And it had this hat on the band, so I made it. And it's wah wah. I clearly didn't do enough for the pom-pom. I never do enough for the pom-poms. I'm not a pom-pom fan. And then this pattern, I didn't realize it was an intermediate pattern, and I just went straight from the band, which was, I was trying to challenge myself just to do a pattern off the band, and didn't realize it was intermediate. And so I don't know how to describe it. I did it a little while ago. You can see there's a step down involved, and then you go down. So this isn't like cinched. This isn't like a square that you then cinch the top. You work the top thinner as you go. So I'll get the link and put it up here, but like you did some and then you stepped up, or maybe you stepped down as you come back across. I don't remember, but it's really, look, like the band isn't even staying up. It's totally wonky. And so Amy and her wonky hats. So it's a nice ribbing, but I wasn't in love with it. Maybe when I don't know what it would take for me to do this pattern again. I thought it was really great the way it was doing that step down thing. But then there's like these holes, and I'm not in love with it. So it's not totally a fail. It'll still work and keep somebody's head warm, but just not, you know, when you think you have an expectation of what the project is going to look like when you're done, and then it doesn't look like that. So we were out to dinner, and this waitress had a bandana scarf on her head that was made from crochet. And I stopped her. She wasn't even our waitress. And I stopped her and went over to her and had to ask her to look at her headband. And so I came home and found a similar pattern. And I actually, funny as it is, I actually had similar colors. So this almost looks exactly like what the gal was wearing at the restaurant, and then just some long ties that you tie down under your hair. So it is so cute. I really, 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 really liked this one. Generally, when I do granny squares, I hate to change colors so often. So this was a personal challenge on that regard. But it's just awesome. And this is made, ooh, big thunderclap. We're gonna lose power here in a minute, maybe. So this, I used my Bernat Softy cotton, and it is 60 cotton and 40% acrylic. And it was really funny because I thought this was white that I was using, and then I got back to put the rest of the skein away, and it's not, it's cream. This was my white. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, so I thought that was super, super cute. So I thought, well, let's make another one. So I pulled this pattern out. I found this pattern, and I made this one with acrylic, and it's kind of thick and kind of heavy, but I wanted the color. I wanted to use this yarn. This is the Red Heart with Love, and it's okay. It's got the cute little scallops along the edges, and so it's cute as well. It might be a little bit warmer because, like I said, it's in the acrylic. And then I made an exact one. This is the other Red Heart with Love that I've got, these two colors. So I just made another one exactly like that one. And then this one was an interesting one. I never changed color the way this one does. So I'll show you because it's just too pretty. Look how cute. And so what you do is you start down here with the one scallop, and then you tie the blue on and go across and then leave it. And then when you, I don't remember off the top of my head, the see on the edge here, so you leave the other color there, and then you work it up in when you're doing your chain up to go from one row to the next. You flip-flop the other color. So like with the white, I was working the white up, and I tossed the blue back and forth so that the blue was sitting here when I came back and needed the blue. And so it's a really interesting pattern. I'll link it down below, like I try to do with all these that I talk about. But this was really, really cute. I liked this one a lot, and it took me a little bit longer because the little color changing at the end was a little bit difficult. Not difficult, but if you never did it before, it was kind of fun to figure that out so that your blue's just working right up through that. And then I didn't have like extra chains. You don't have to tie off and tie in a bunch of chains. So I thought that one was really cute. I like that one a lot. So then here's what I have to show you that I think is a fabulous one. I love, love, love this stitch. And in looking for something to use my big twist with, because I love the big twist as well. I had 10 skeins of this, and I've got about 6.5 ounces of scrap. So that's like one whole cake. So I've got 4 cakes. So I used 5 plus. So if you have 6 skeins of this, you'll be able to do the blanket that I did. And it's just a ripple. And I think, you know, some of the other big crochet channels had done a tutorial right after I started this, and I was like, I am not copying you. You are not copying me. We're both just doing a great stitch at the same time. So it's just a ripple stitch. So you've got your peaks and your valleys, and so down here you skip 2, and then you double crochet a bunch, and then you get up to the peak, and then you chain, and then stitch into the next stitch, so that you're adding the 2 down here and then subtracting the 2 down here. And worked in the back loop only, it gives you this great ridging. So see, like these pink stitches here, if we were going to go into the full stitch, it would grab this loop as well, but it's just a back loop only, so it gives that great texture. And color controlling is not something that I do. Like, I want the same. So like when they make a skein, there's a certain amount of blue and a certain amount of pink and a certain amount of this burgundy. So when I use it, I don't want to start on someplace, how do you say that? I want the same amount represented. So for the pink, like if I was working through here and then the color changed, you know, if I started a new skein and just grabbed any old color, then I would start with a different color, you know, a different color would come out. And so I'm not necessarily, I just want the same flow. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So if we have 2 rows of pink, I want 2 rows of pink every time throughout the blanket. So I will sometimes take out a little bit so that I start where the pink starts, so that I don't only have, you know, 5 stitches of pink. I'm going to have a whole row of pink, like all the way the rest of the blanket. So I hope that makes sense. So I do have, like I said, more than a cake left, because I was taking out centers so that I could have that same amount. You know, like in this case, I might have to take out that blue and just start with the maroon, so that it gives me a full representation of that maroon from this cake. I don't know, it's just the way I am. So this is not, you know, I didn't do a border on this one. I absolutely love it. It is super soft, and it is touching the floor now. So here's a good height for my 5'7", a good length for the blanket, and yeah. So when you have 10 skeins of something and you're trying to figure out what to do with it, I just hit the table and my knee hurts so bad. Ouch! I'm sorry. When you have 10 skeins of yarn and you're not sure what to do with it, and you get through a big old project, or you know, you think it's a good sized project, and I pretty much only used half of it, you know. So I'm still going to have 4+ cakes to use, and who knows what I'll make of it. But with the others, you know, the remnants of everybody here, we're all going to play together and put them all together at the end. We'll see what kind of color combinations we can come up with and so forth. So, all right, so that was all my stuff for today. I want to thank you so much for sitting with me, as I thank you every time you come to sit with me, because this is why I'm here. I just want to sit with friends and talk about crochet. So thanks so much for your time. I do appreciate you so much. Have a wonderfully blessed day, and I'll see you again. Thanks. Bye-bye.